Hi, Scorpio. I forgot to press record. Welcome to your unexpected reading for me. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. If this is about you and another person, this could resonate with their moon or yours, moon rising or Venus sign. Okay, so we have King of Cups. For me, that's Pisces. The Fool, Gemini, Virgo, or Aries. Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and Six of Cups. All right, so we're all caught up. That's where I realized I wasn't filming. Okay, so, and I moved it like this because if I do like this, look at, see the glare? So I do, yeah, okay, there we go. And now you can see the cards. Okay, all right. Oh, and, okay, so it was six, so when I was shuffling, what jumped was Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Nine of Swords. And the two, Six of Cups and Seven of Cups had jumped, and then the Nine of Swords was flipped over, and I hadn't seen it yet. But anyway, I was starting to talk about how you were sort of wanting to address a long-standing issue, and there were just a lot of, like, immediately, because it was like you knew you had to deal with it, but you didn't know, or you just didn't know where to begin, and it was overwhelming, and part of you kind of not wanting to really look at it was maybe some fears, feelings of shame, self-blame, all of that, and it was time to make a decision about it. It was time to bring it to light, get it out in the open, and just look at everything. And there was a lot of anxiety about that. And then the Nine of Swords flipped over. Or I flipped it over. So it's just you knowing that you need to address something and just kind of mustering up the courage to be like, all right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this long-standing issue for me. It could be a person you've known for a while that you're having conflict with. It could be your own personal situation and addressing your own personal history about something. But it's you wanting to, or knowing that it's time to address something and to get to the bottom of an issue that's been kind of hanging around for a while. What's this Fool? Well, who doesn't have that, right? What's this Fool card about for Scorpio? Scorpio. The Knight of Pentacles. That could be Taurus. For me, that's Taurus. All right. What's this Page of Cups here? Cups for Scorpio. I think part of, honestly, no, I'm going to lie, right? I think that Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups showed up with the Nine of Swords. I think that's part of you needing to take the backstory into consideration, because it's almost like you're trying to make decisions in the moment that don't address. It's like you're just trying to relate it to recent events instead of your own personal history commingled with your situation now. It's like you're just saying, oh, you're just looking at that kind of experience related to that situation. You're not going back into your own personal history. So that could be something you need to consider also, because I think this is a lot bigger, this decision for you, and this issue is a lot bigger than what you have, what you're considering. And I think the reason why you might get tripped up on actually making a decision that you stick to about it, or is because there's a lot more to consider, and you're only wanting to consider this right here, what's in front of you. And it's like, no, we're talking about something that from way back here or a long time ago that's kind of still affecting the now. So it could just consider that there could be long-standing issues that you are reluctant to address, but that have a direct bearing on your situation now and the decision making with that. It could also be that, you know what, enough's enough. I just want to be happy. What can I do right now to make this work? And it's like, it's not about make this work, it's about what's happened that is affecting you from being, yeah, all right. This is Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, the Tower. So this could be Scorpio right here, the Tower. And a cup, and a cups. Chariot, that's Cancerian. This is Six of Cups, Scorpio. What's this Six of Cups for? Oh, okay. What are you doing? Did you just get the stinger out? What just happened? Why? Why would you do that? Well, sorry, not chastising. It's like, I think I'm just shocked. Because I'm like, okay, the decision has to be looked at. You got to make the decision. What happened? Why did you do this about face? We have, is this you? Now, keep in mind, if this is you telling someone I reject your offer, okay. But also consider this could be just an internal thing that you're not even dealing with someone, this is a decision that is internal, and you're saying to yourself, I'm going to do things differently from here forward. But because I think this is about you finally feeling at peace and feeling loving and being letting your guard down, doing the thing. It could be dealing with Pisces, but doing the thing that you've been afraid to examine or look at. You're doing that with sort of objective compassion and wisdom. You're sitting on a perch, sort of examining it, so you're not down in it, so it's easier for you to look at and to not be so judgy to yourself, perhaps. There's that, right? Because whenever we're judged, we kind of get defensive and stonewall and shut down and all that. And so this could be you trying to take a different tack on something. It could also be surface level romantic reading, right? This could be about you wanting to get something off the ground with a Pisces, and really wanting, like, things have been going a certain way for a while. You've been wanting it to go differently, and it's like, okay, when's this gonna happen? It's been going on long enough. What's the deal here? What did you know? So this is about you taking a look at, since you're not really getting any straight answers from this person. Doesn't have to be a Pisces, but it could be, or someone that you just feel really fondly about. You're willing to take a step back and look at that situation and go, this isn't getting off the ground. What is it? I'm not getting needs met. It's not stable or solid. It's anything but. It's this and that, whatever. And this is you deciding to take matters into your own hands. And it could be that when you do that, that's when they come around. I'm so sick of that storyline. I know you are too, and I'm not upset about it. I'm very aware that this is familiar territory. Just want you to know that. But we've got you. I don't know. I don't know that this is so much dealing with another person. I think dealing with another person is kind of causing this internal reflection, but I don't know that you're really going to be saying that to their face. I think this is just you making a decision in private on your own after considering your involvement with a long-time situation that, you know what, it's always going to be like this. So what do I want to do for me? And it doesn't mean, the thing is, it doesn't mean that you're done with the situation. I think this is you deciding that you want to be happy with or without this offer of stability. And so you're looking at, I don't know, I feel like it's so meta, because it's like, okay, nothing's changed with the situation that you're involved in, but there's something that shifted internally with you that you're like, I'm going to be more proactive in happiness. I'm not going to be looking to this person to make the next move or to decide what the next move is. I'm not going to tell that person I'm doing that, though. So I'm going to start doing my own thing. Golly, and I just feel like the outward situation is not going to change. You're not going to let it, because I think you want to buy some more time. I think you want to get your head around this shift that's taking place. I think you're wanting to keep everything the same on the outside so that they don't know that you're reconsidering, because every time the Scorpios I'm reading for, every time someone knows that you're getting frustrated or reconsider, they either come on like they love bomb or they retreat. This is a very delicate situation. And I think at this point, you're just like, you know what? No, I don't want this outward situation to change until I'm ready for it to change. I'm tired of it changing on me. I'm tired of it being, because it's either this out of the blue revelation, about, hey, this and this, we have a chance now. And it's like, you're only saying that because, I'm starting to distance myself. So this is you wanting to kind of preserve the outside situation and to take a look at almost having the luxury of, with this newfound perspective, considering this person's actions or considering the evidence at hand in a different perspective. So instead of looking at something like, oh my gosh, this person cares, this is just an example, but this person cares about me so much, look at, they text me so many times a day, or they just show up with flowers or whatever. Consider also that that's either love bombing or learning you, right? Kind of like that shift in perspective. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm saying the shift in perspective to see it as, oh my gosh, they care about me so much, to, why are they always showing up where I'm at? How do they know where I am? Why do they text me so much? It's making that shift. And instead of you asking those questions out loud to whoever you're involved with, or, whoever this is, you're wanting to sit with those questions and explore them on your own. It's almost like you don't want the person to know that you're on to them. All right. So this is a decision that you want to take charge of your own happiness. I think this is you wanting to get out of the rut. This is you realizing I'm not going to be able to rely on shifting sand for, this is breadcrumbing right here. And you're kind of sick. You're wanting to know when that new beginning is going to start. When are we going to get this off the ground? It's been a certain way for a while, but you're wanting it to finally be about you. You're wanting to finally get your due. I rhymed. And yet, this is you being willing to look at your needs and what you want and the situation objectively with compassion towards yourself, like kind of wanting to look at it once removed in a mature fashion, to look at it realistically. So nothing outwardly is going to change. This feels like an inward issue, that someone kind of does this with the security, but they're pulling it away, and it's not a stable situation, and you're tired of it, and you're seeing it differently, and you're deciding that I want to be happy. I want different for myself. I don't know what that looks like yet, and I don't want anybody to know I'm wanting this or thinking about this, but I know that I want happy. And that may involve you ending something that has been kind of this long-standing issue here that has been consistent only in the push-pull aspect of it. It hasn't been stable per se. It's just been consistent. The instability is the inconsistency is what's been consistent. And so this is you taking a look at that. And it could be that you're deciding to take matters into your own hands and you're going to be ending it. Let's see here. Hold on. I think that what's different here is that the perspective shift. So, fun fact, no, not really. Nothing about the external is going to change unless you want it to change. So there's stability in knowing that the same up and down, up and down, up and down is going to continue unless you decide to change it. So what else for Scorpio? What am I not seeing here? Because this feels like, okay, what else for Scorpio? Oopsie. All right, we'll allow it. What else for Scorpio? Gracious. The Tower, that could be Scorpio, and the Three of Cups here. Okay, so this could be why you're waiting is because you're involved in someone that just kind of wants to keep it at a superficial level because you're not the only one they're involved with, right? And you're okay, you're like, you know what, this has been going on for a while now. You should know who you want to choose, or I don't like being it just more than me. I want you to only be with me because I'm willing to do that for you. It could be that this is, you're tired of it being kind of kept light and superficial. You want a start, just you and them, right? Could be that. This could also be that you're going to be relying on friendships and that to get you through this disruption, this sort of you breaking away from what has been for a while, even though it hasn't been stable, but it's been consistent, the involvement with this situation. So this could be you relying on friends to kind of get you through that upheaval. We've got two towers here. That's breaking away, disrupting the norm. And the thing is, with the tower, you don't have to destroy the whole thing. You could just take the top off. It doesn't have to be a complete and utter. It could be a systematic type of, like a controlled dismantling. So it doesn't have to be so out of the blue, shock, disruptive. It could be more controlled than that. But it does speak to at least epiphanies, something that kind of the perspective shift that I was talking about. So nothing, it's funny because nothing is changing on the surface. It's just, this is all internal. You realizing some things and looking at something from a different perspective and realizing that I want to be happy and I'm probably going to have to be in charge of that because this is not going to give me that happiness. And again, I'm sorry that this is not different for you. I'm not blaming, certainly. This is what's showing up here. And I know it's a familiar storyline for you. So I thought I was stuck in a loop, and I even did a different, I think I did Scorpio twice in one sitting, just to double check myself. But okay, so what's this? Six of Cups for Scorpio. Six of Cups and this World card for Scorpio. See that? There's that continued involvement. That's why nothing's changing on the surface. Because you're going to, with this long-standing situation, this is about you seeing it for what it is, seeing the potential or not, seeing it in its entirety, and having those epiphanies, and yet still keeping some kind of connection to it. So this is about you kind of wanting to take ownership of it and turn the tables. You're just not ready for the other person to know that you're doing that yet. I say that without judgment or without like, oh, no, you need to get out of there. You're going to do what you're going to do. And you've been struggling with this and really trying to make sense of it. And this is another way you're trying to cope with it. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's all about awareness, right? So you're trying to get a handle on something. This has been very difficult for you. So it is what it is. No judgment. All right. What else for Scorpio? Okay, lay a solid foundation. And you can't with this. You can't when you're being breadcrumbed. And I think that's what's compelled you or wanted you, or why you've wanted to get a handle on this and be like, you know what, I want to be the champion of my own happiness. I want to get this off the ground. Are we or aren't we? Not getting any straight answers. Okay, so I'm going to go internal. You could even find yourself detaching from the situation just so that you're not so emotionally, and that's kind of what this is. You're not so emotionally entrenched. You're looking at it from a loving perspective, but not an in love or in crisis or in drama perspective. It's like you're trying to take that mature stance on it and going, all right, coming full circle, what's possible here? Does it have the potential I thought it did? Am I tired of waiting? What do I want to do? This is you having those internal conversations. I don't know that you thought you would do that. I think that it was either black or white before, as far as like, I'm going to choose this option or this option. Instead, it's almost like I'm going to have both. I'm going to carry on because I'm not ready to do anything about the decisions I'm thinking about doing. So I'm going to maintain this and think about options with a new perspective. And this is saying lay a solid foundation, which is what you're gathering evidence to figure out how to do. And I think part of that gathering evidence is realizing that the only consistent thing about whatever you're dealing with is that it's inconsistent. It's been a constant push-pull, roller coaster, breadcrumby type thing. So whatever this situation is, it feels romantic, but it could be otherwise. You're not getting your needs met with someone. We got 2 6s here. Look at that. And this is you still keeping that connection, but also strategizing a possible exit. But right now it's more examining and coming full circle and trying to be objective because you're not ready to do anything about it yet. This is you really just going, something's got to give here. This is the beginnings of that thought process. It takes guts. And it's not easy, especially if you're doing it alone. So that could be where your tribe comes in handy, to kind of keep you centered and grounded, to not fall down that rabbit hole and then back away from something because it's too big. This is objectively and compassionately taking a look at a long-standing issue that might not have the potential you thought it was. Is it an ending, or is it just a modified version of what I wanted? What is it? What are my options? And this is you still keeping the connection alive until you decide otherwise, and also doing it very much in private so that it feels like you have more, honestly, it feels like you have more efficacy, because you don't want someone to get skittish and abandon you, because that really has kind of sent you into a tailspin before. Like, just because you were having doubts or second thoughts or asking questions or wondering, all of a sudden, pew, you're like, wait. And I know I'm making this sound very nice and like, well, you had questions today. This is not as, like, I don't like the way this feels. I know it's not about me, but I'm just trying to break down what is going on. I get this sense of frustration, like I just don't like the dynamics of this. But it's the way it is. Everybody goes through something like this. Everybody realizes, hey, wait a second. And then you got to struggle with that for a while, because if you make a decision on, hey, wait a second, and then skedaddle, it's too soon. You don't have all the facts yet, especially if it's an emotional based decision. So you don't want to, it's almost like you don't want to pull the rug out from under yourself too soon, because then you don't have anything to stand on when you're leaving. Kind of a decent analogy. Okay, all right. So this is you wanting to keep a connection open while you have your thoughts about it, trying to make some decisions. I really feel like it's you looking at if the potential is really there or not. And then, I'll be honest, Scorpio, I think you might be willing to settle for less. Don't get mad at me. Hear me out. When I say settle for less, I think after looking at something objectively, I think it's about you going, okay, I can still have this connection. I'm just not going to give it the power that I used to. But I still want to keep the connection, but I'm not going to attach to it or have it. And that could be you strategically starting to detach. But I just feel like you're not ready to let it go. And you're really working hard to reframe it for yourself, or to take back your power in the situation without having to do any action yet. You're really trying to get mentally fortified about this. That was mentally fortified. So but it doesn't involve you letting go of a situation. It just involves you giving it much less power and importance. It's very nuanced and layered. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, that was a magician. It was like that. I know that was. And then we, oh, look at that. Okay, so both of these are on its side. It's like the halfwaysies, halfway between. So we got the magician on its side, Gemini, Virgo, or Aries, and we've got the Queen of Wands on its side. So this is manipulation and occasion. This is pacing each other. This is strategizing. This is Survivor. Survivor Island, or I don't even know what it is. That show where they try to outsmart each other and outlast each other and all that. That's what this is. This is the possibility for maybe being able to really take off and make something happen. But it's almost like an unrealized potential, because someone won't contribute. Someone won't meet you halfway. Someone is being just as strategic and is calculating, and it's not being able to have any movement forward because you've got this, that push-pull or that sabotage, and then this. It's never this and then going forward. It's as soon as you start to pursue, they retreat, and then they do like this. And you are 5 minutes. Sorry, just hold on a second. As far as the movement forward and this fresh start and whatnot, it's almost like if you do, it's going to be you doing it on your own. You have as much power in this situation as the other person. I mean, they both landed like, so you have as much power in this situation as the other person. If you really want what you want, this is about you taking the reins and making it happen and doing it. But you're not ready for that yet. You're still considering your options. Just saying. All right, shutting up. Thank you for stopping by, Scorpio. I appreciate it. I know this was a long one. I hope it was helpful, though. Pretty drawn out. Good luck to you and much love to you. All right, you take care.